In today's presentation, we will explore an in-depth look into the life, works, and impact of Kate Chopin. By understanding her background, exploring her literary contributions, and examining her influence on American literature, we can gain a deeper appreciation for her significance as a writer and advocate for social change. Chopin's early life and background. Catherine O'Flaherty, also known as Kate Chopin, was born on February 8, 1850 in St. Louis, Missouri. Chopin's mother grew up in a very poor French Creole family and chose to marry at the age of 16 to gain financial support from her husband. Because of this, Kate's childhood was much different than that of her mother's. Chopin grew up in a prominent French Creole family, which exposed her to a rich cultural heritage that would later influence her writing. As a young girl, she was taught in a Catholic school and was an avid reader, which provided her with an elite education, which was very unusual for women during this time. Unfortunately, her father was killed in a train accident when she was only 5 years old, leaving her without any male role models in her household. Chopin's role models. Because of her father's death, Chopin's mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother raised her. All of her female role models were widows, but also very smart and independent. Even though her education was already very advanced, her great-grandmother furthered this by teaching her music and French. Early adulthood. Chopin graduated top of her class from Sacred Heart Academy. She wrote her first story, Emancipation, a life fable, which was a short story about freedom and restriction. At the age of 20, Kate married Oscar Chopin, a wealthy cotton factor. They settled in New Orleans and had 7 children together. Despite the demands of motherhood, Chopin continued to write and pursue her passion for literature. Her experiences as a wife and mother would later find their way into her works, providing a unique and authentic perspective. However, in a tragic turn of events, Oscar died in 1882 and left Kate in a tremendous amount of debt. Influence of her Creole heritage. Because of this debt, Chopin began writing more seriously to make money for her family. She decided to use her influences from her childhood, and her Creole heritage played a significant role in shaping her writing. The Creole culture of Louisiana, with its blend of French and African influences, provided a backdrop for her exploration of themes such as racial identity, cultural diversity, and societal expectations. This cultural heritage not only informed her characters and settings, but also allowed her to challenge prevailing norms and conventions. Impact on feminist literature. Kate Chopin's writings were instrumental in shaping feminist literature. Chopin sold her first novel in 1890 and her career took off, becoming a literary socialite. In 1899, she wrote her most famous work, The Awakening, which follows a female protagonist who explores her own self-identity and sexuality as a woman. Through her exploration of female sexuality, desire for independence, and rejection of traditional gender roles, she paved the way for future generations of feminist authors. Her works challenged societal expectations and provided a voice for women who were often silenced and marginalized. Literary themes. Many of her stories revolved around the themes listed here. Several key events and experiences in Kate Chopin's life had a profound impact on her worldview and writing. After her husband's death, she gained a newfound independence, and coupled with the feminist movements of the time, it fueled her desire to challenge traditional gender roles and explore the complexities of female identity in her works. Death and legacy. Due to the societal norms of the time period, the content and message of The Awakening caused an uproar. She was devastated by these reactions and lived as a recluse for the remaining years of her life until her death in 1904. Despite initial controversy and neglect, Kate Chopin's works have gained recognition and a lasting place in the American literary canon. Her contributions to feminist literature, her exploration of human emotions, and her innovative storytelling techniques have solidified her status. Today, her works are widely studied and celebrated for their profound impact and timeless relevance. By addressing timeless themes and universal struggles, Chopin's works remain relevant and continue to spark discussions about gender identity and societal expectations.